This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And a good Monday afternoon. Welcome to Wyoming Sports Talk Today on the airwaves, being brought to you by Marv's Plumbing and Heating at 1515 Logan Avenue. We also want to thank Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue. Sweet D in the Greenway Commons, directly across the street. It's First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, doing banking the old-fashioned way. You always first and foremost, Monday through Friday. Lennox Auto Body, ×2, the auto body shop over on Dunn Avenue. The Auto Glass Detail Center can be found on Pershing Boulevard for a quarter century. Lennox has been serving our area, family-owned, family-operated. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse, open Monday through Saturday. Platte Valley Bank, 2 banking locations to serve you. You'll find the original location on Vanda High, the east side location at the corner of College and Pershing, Platte Valley Bank. Kia of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. The lot is filled up with some 19, so you definitely want to get behind the wheel of one of those great Kia cars, especially, from the line of Forte or Soul or Sorrento, Sportage, all available for you and a test drive over at Kia Cheyenne on Nation Way. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Delrange, serving up 3 squares as they do each Monday through Saturday, directly across from Menards. Remember, 2 convenient drive-thrus to get you through quickly over at Chick-fil-A. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service, 18s must go, 19s are on the lot. You're going to save big bucks as always when you shop right there at Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service, and check out some great financing rates right now at Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30. And last but not least, we thank all of our Taco John's locations here in Cheyenne. Have you tried their fish tacos? Get on with it. You definitely want to get a fish taco inside the old Tum Tum. They make delicious quesadillas as well. They got their loaded potato olays. Oh, by the way, tomorrow it's Taco Tuesday at all participating Taco John's. And we get things underway with our scoreboard. It's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne with Nick.
Unfortunately, nothing on NHL action, but recapping from this past week, it was softball with the Cheyenne Extreme, which we will talk more in at least 4 o'clock hour with manager Adam Galicia. But recapping Saturday and Sunday's action for the Cheyenne Extreme, looking at a few contests on Saturday as they were competing down in Loveland in another tournament. At least with Saturday's contest, they came away of 1-1-1, where they had 1 victory, 1 loss, and also 1 tie. And Sunday, they found a few victories, at least one against the Denver Chaos by a final of 10-3. They did lose to the All-American Fast Pitch 8-1, and Sunday the championship game in the Loveland tournament, they got the victory 8-4. So the Cheyenne Extreme so far on the season are 8-3-1.
Major League Baseball going on right now, top of the 8th inning, and the Tampa Rays continue their winning ways as they're leading 5-1 over the Pale Hose in Chicago. Top of the 8th inning at Wrigley, Cubs are winning as they lead 10-0 over the Bucks of Pittsburgh. Games that will get underway when we get off the air, it will be the Yankees at the Astros. Athletics on the road, they will face the Orioles at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Nats and the Phillies at Citizens Bank Park. Dodgers and the Cardinals at Busch in the 6 o'clock hour. M's will be at the Royals. The Braves and the Rockies at Coors Field at 6:40 this evening. Julio Teheran on the hill for Atlanta, and Kyle Freeland will toe the rubber for the 3-7 Rockies. Speaking of 3-7, the Giants will play host to the Padres tonight in San Francisco at Oracle Park. Mad Bum will get the call. He'll go up against Eric Lauer. And it will be the Angels in the 8 o'clock hour at Angel Stadium, Anaheim. They will play host to the Milwaukee Brewers. We are winding down in the NBA. Some teams with 2 games left. and a lot with just one game left. So let's get to the abbreviated schedule. This evening, it will be the Hornets at the Cavaliers, Grizz at the Pistons, Celtics and the Wizards. It will be the 76ers at the Heat, Knicks and the Bulls in Chicago, Raptors and the Timberwolves in the Target Center, Warriors, who have wrapped up the number 1 seed in the West. They will be in the Smoothie King Center to take on the Pelicans, Suns of the Mavericks, Nuggets and the Jazz in the Vivint Smart Home Arena in Salt Lake City, Rockets and the Thunder at Chesapeake Energy Arena in OKC, Trailblazers and the Lakers. Looks like a full slate of games for me. That will be in Los Angeles at Staples. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Alex White, tea master at Pure Leaf. When I make tea, everything I know goes into it. You can't be impatient. When I craft Pure Leaf iced tea, I don't take shortcuts, because I want you to have the same amazing taste of iced tea that I do. So I start with fresh picked tea leaves. Then, after they're delicately dried, I blend and brew them at a lower temperature to draw out their unique aromas. And then I taste and fine-tune the blend for a delicious smooth iced tea. I'd love to have you take a sip right now, but that's one thing we can't do over the radio. But you can experience the same delicious taste of Pure Leaf iced tea anywhere you are. I'm Alex White, Pure Leaf Tea Master. Pure Leaf, our thing is tea.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 KRAE.
Well, so much to talk about over the weekend, so don't know how much we'll be able to get to. And then, of course, we will be talking extreme fast pitch coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. But let's see, over the weekend we had Bare Knuckles Friday night at the Cheyenne Ice and Events Center. We had, let's see, on Sunday it was WrestleMania. We've also had, let's take a look at basketball.
Yeah, Final Four, and again, we have the championship game.
And we also
tonight,
have the women's champion crowned.
Yeah, we had at least Lady Bears out of Baylor. They,
Great
as
game.
I thought, they were going to be the champions. Yes, they are. Again, go figure that the number 1 team who has been number 1 ranked, Baylor, taking care of business. At least against Notre Dame.
Wasn't a cakewalk, though. 82-81, the final score in that contest.
But again, as we have a men's basketball championship coming up tonight as well, that'll be on CBS between Texas Tech, a team that I anticipated would be in this position. Did not think they will win the national championship. And pulling for the Red Raiders, though, tonight, as they will take on Virginia. Go figure, again, the Cavaliers, a team that exited first round last year to a 16th seed, is now finding themselves just a game away from becoming national championships this season. So
sounds like all the money is on Virginia too.
Good on them.
No, I mean, that's what I'm hearing. There's a lot of them,
Good for them.
Everybody thinks it's going to be. Nobody's giving. I don't want to say nobody. A lot of folks aren't giving the Red Raiders a puncher's chance.
Texas Tech is a team that's gone under the radar, and here they are right now, again, fighting for at least both teams right now are at least an unknown positioning as both, at least schools, both programs looking for their first ever national championship coming up tonight. So, again, it's something where Texas Tech, it's, give all respect to Virginia. Yes, they did what they needed to do. They took care of teams. They got to the point where they are. And, again, here it is, the final contest to at least cap off the season for Virginia. But for Texas Tech, a team that is floating under the radar, has been that team that I said, hey, you want to keep an eye out. Here they are right now knocking on at least getting their first national championship, and I think they'll get it done.
So I was going to say, wouldn't surprise you tonight that they end up winning it all.
No, why would I when I have them in the national championship? I was saying, from the get-go, at least starting of this March Madness, this NCAA tournament, watch out for Texas Tech. Right. I believed in this team to make it to this point. I had them losing to North Carolina, but guess what? North Carolina isn't there. I think they're a better, at least, squad than what Virginia puts out there. I think they have more talent and a team that is at least known to kind of battle through at least a little bit of adversity. I think they can get it done here tonight.
It sounds like, though, with Virginia, where they had that little scare in their opening round where they were going to repeat last year, it seems like they have, and again, Oregon was probably their biggest test, but this is a team that is kind of just, how do I describe it? they're pretty loose. They're feeling pretty good about themselves here in this championship game. Texas Tech also they fought hard to get into the finals.
They certainly did. And I think for Virginia had the probably easier route. Both teams really didn't have a big struggle. Again, you look at Final Four matchups, Auburn and Virginia. I mean, Auburn, not a powerhouse, at least basketball program. It's not like taking on North Carolina if they were to move on against Auburn. And you look on the other side of the bracket for the Final Four matchup between Michigan State and for Texas Tech. Again, Michigan State, yes, not a bad outfit. Again, you're going against Tom, at least with Coach Izzo. Again, one of the best minds in NCAA basketball. So again, a little bit more tested when I would think compared to Virginia, but both really weren't tested all the way to this point in time. Again, maybe a little bit more advantage for Texas Tech, where, again, you are seeing Michigan State. You are seeing the Zags out of Spokane. I mean, it's right now, it was kind of the perfect formula for both of these teams to get to the national championship, and here it is. Both teams that have never been here at this point in time, and I would hope it's a close one. It should be a close one. But I think on paper, again, talent-wise and what I've just been saying about this Texas Tech team and what they've been doing, again, kind of floating under the radar this entire season, I think they just have enough. They have enough good momentum on their side to get that national championship.
And I think we actually got a good national championship on tap for tonight.
At least, again, it's someone new.
Fresh faces. Yeah.
It's someone new.
So, and I probably agree with you. I think it's going to be a close one tonight. So we'll see tomorrow what the final numbers were after it's all said and done. So college hoops will officially come to an end as of this evening when we crown the national champion. Speaking of hoops, let's go over to the NBA, where the Denver Nuggets right now in a fight. Believe it or not, they have 2 games left, and Houston has 1 game left. And the Nuggets are clamping down, hopefully, on that number 2 hold. Number 1, going to the Warriors, where you're not going to be surprised. I mean,
again, at this point for the Warriors, you expect this. It is what it is. For them last night, at least getting the win at home, their final, at least home game there at Oracle Arena in Oakland.
They sent a message last night, too, didn't they?
I guess. I mean, it's the LA Clippers, and,
guess who their first-round opponent would be? The Clippers. Right now, if you go the way the
should be San Antonio.
No, the way the conference. No, San Antonio is ahead of the Clippers, and I think it's by division wins. Right now, they have the better win 1-loss mark.
Either way, though, at least from what I saw, it should have been San Antonio. But again,
conference mark. Excuse me.
Whatever. Anyways, again, nice statement, or at least a good win at home for the Golden State Warriors. It was more kind of emotion-filled, where it is the final, at least, contest, 47 years there at Oracle in Oakland, before they move over to at least Chase Center.
San Francisco.
Chase Arena, whatever it is. But over there in San Francisco, coming up next season. But, brought back the We Believe jerseys from the Don Nelson year, again, where they had the 8-seed upset over the Dallas Mavericks, the number 1 team. Back in those playoffs. It was emotional filled, and again, it was a statement win. Was it something that, hey, it bodes good, at least momentum for the Warriors going into the playoffs? We'll see. I anticipate the Warriors pretty much resting for the way out, or at least before we get into the playoffs. Again, there's no point. They've got everything solidified. Who cares? Again, this team, for the regular season, it doesn't really matter to me at this point in time, because you expect this. You expect them to do this. You expect them to be at this point in time, because they are back-to-back NBA champions.
And knock on wood, too, they're all heading into the playoffs in relatively good shape right now. So heading into tonight's game against the Pelicans, and you don't. This is the final game for the Pelicans. Do you think they're really going to go put forth?
I don't think either team's really going to care.
It's almost like watching I guess you'd say it'll be even worse than a preseason game. You might see the starting 5 out there for about a quarter and call it good, and then that's about it.
I think that's the best move. What else is Golden State need to do? They don't need to prove anything.
I agree. Like I said, you
have no one nipping on your heels at this point. Nuggets, the best they can do so far is, again, reach for that 2 seed, as they've already clinched the Northwest Division. But other than that, though, Nuggets, hey, at least for the Warriors, you got nothing to worry about. All you got to do is focus on your first-round matchup.
And again, for the Warriors, this will be the first time in 3 years that they actually will head into the first round of the playoffs all healthy. So That's bad news if you are the Clippers right now. And again, they're in that
or
number.
whoever will be that 8.
Well, again, San Antonio and the Clippers are both 47-34. They go by conference records. San Antonio is 29-22 in conference. Clippers are 27-24. So the Clips must win. San Antonio must lose to switch places. That's the way it will run. Let's see. Speaking, you mentioned the Warriors, 47 years in Oakland. Of course, prior to that, they were in San Francisco. Prior to that, they were in Philadelphia. But I remember the San Francisco days and seeing them at the old Cow Palace many, many years ago. So
well, they're not playing at that dump. They're playing at a much better arena downtown.
If you look back, and this is what I
Cow Palace is a dump now. Let's be honest.
but the Cow Palace back in the day was ahead of its time. I mean, it held everything in there. Wrestling, it had, basketball, all kinds of indoor goodies that went on. And then, of course, too, like you said, now where it's at, it's turned into a dump like a lot of the old venues in San Francisco, which they just said, who cares?
Well, they've bulldozed them over again. You look at Candlestick, you look at whatever else, they're just moving it over to build real estate or do whatever as is. And again, you say what it is, and as much as we're focusing on at least the West Coast right now, but it is something where for these pro venues, again, you want to respect history, but also too when it is, you look at Oracle, being at Oracle, seeing a game there, seeing the environment around that arena, it's a dump. Does it need to stay around and be a historical venue? No. You could probably get rid of it.
It wasn't all that when it was the Oakland Coliseum.
It's kind of like when the Coliseum, when that's going to be barren, when the A's move out here in a few years, Raiders done after this season. Do you need to keep any of those venues? Probably not. I think it would be best for at least for Alameda County or Oakland or whoever owns it. I do believe it's the city, but owns that property. Just get rid of it because it's going to be an eyesore. It's an eyesore right now, hence the reason why you have all these teams moving away from there. But, it was same with Candlestick out there in kind of the remote 100-point reaches where, again, it had that, negative vibe about it. It was always don't go out there late night, blah, blah, blah. The Cow Palace is kind of in that same situation of, if it stands, if it goes.
All of these venues were built in dumpy areas. Back in the day, because
land was cheap.
Land was cheap, absolutely. Now, land is a premium, and again, where Candlestick Park is at, right across from the dump, I mean, they bowl it over, and I don't know what they're doing, if they're building housing out there.
They're building new apartments.
Yeah, great. Probably low-income apartments out there, I would assume.
The last time I was out in San Francisco, they looked a lot nicer than things out here.
And I don't mean that in disrespect. I'm just saying it would be cheaper apartments because try to get an apartment.
I don't think they're trying to do that. I think they're trying to revitalize Hunter's Point right now again, where, like I said, I think they are trying to get away from that vibe. I do believe they're building a new mall out there. They're building new housing or at least apartments. I think they're trying to revitalize that and not give it that negative context of, all right, here's where you can make a decent living or at least raise a family, blah, blah, blah. But again, at this point, who cares? But right now, for the Golden State Warriors, as we'll kind of move on away from this, but for the Warriors, it's a necessary move.
But the Giants didn't move out of Candlestick Park because of, conditions. They moved out of there simply because the weather just sucked.
All right.
I mean, that's and basically and again, nobody was going to South San Francisco to catch Giants games because it was, it was like 20 degrees colder than it was in the city. So, and again, too, there was a threat about moving them many, many times. And then finally some people ponied up and said, hey, you do this for us. And they built them that park in the downtown area, and it had access from all over. Again, back in the day, Candlestick did not have the access. Matter of fact, it took the longest time for Bart just to go to the San Francisco airport. So, Candlestick was kind of a bastard child, so to speak, of San Francisco. And again, I hate to see that park being destroyed because a lot of memories there. Again, guys like me are fulfilled with a lot of those memories of these places. Same with the Oakland Coliseum Arena, now Oracle. Same with the Oakland Coliseum. I was there when these things were nice.
You can even equate to down, at least in Denver, where, granted, it's still in the same spot, but it is the new Mile High Stadium, not the old Mile High. Again, where I think fans would rather have that built, or at least leveled in, where we are happy with, whatever Denver Broncos Stadium, with whatever, corporate name above it. Maybe with the Pepsi Center, hey, I think they're happy. I have no idea if McNichols Arena even still stands in the
it's
city.
gone. No,
yeah, but do you think Nugget fans are really hurt that no longer exists? Or, I get history, but also, too, it's something where, hey, you do need to move on and at least get away from these venues. Yes, it does have that historical value, but, hey, things need to change. Things need to improve.
When does Oracle Park become outdated for you? When does Coors Field start becoming outdated? It's 20-some years old now.
And it's
in the heart of Lodo.
Granted, it is, not compared to the Wrigley, obviously, and again with Fenway, but for Coors Field, it is one of the. It's weird to say one of the older ballparks now. Where again, you look at. The Rangers going to be moving out to a new venue, at least across the street. So, again, that kind of eliminates that ballpark. You look at the Astros. They got a brand-new ballpark.
Atlanta had moved from
A's are eventually going to move out of the Coliseum away from that. They've already made that. You look at the Padres with Petco. You look at, again, it's for the Rockies, is it time to look at a new ballpark for at least getting out of Coors Field? Probably not.
And where would you put it at? That's one thing that's not available like we have out.
Oh, I think if anything, you could probably pull away at least where you level Coors Field and just have them play at Mile High Stadium.
No.
Possibly.
We've already had that. We've already had that fiasco when they first started. You'd probably move the franchise north where there's a little more land. I would think that would be the case.
Yeah, I would think it'd be more appropriate for the Colorado Rockies at least to keep it there in Metro Denver, but maybe possibly I think one area of untapped land out in Denver, Colorado is kind of that Aurora area by the airport. You look where the stadium for the Colorado Rapids is, that marshland area. Mm-hmm. Again, that's a lot of emptiness, or at least kind of flat lands out there where, yes, maybe Rockies could look at that. But I think for Colorado, for any franchises right now, there's no need to move them from their kind of respective venues right now.
And we're jumping the gun on stuff. But, we just got to talking about the Warriors moving and, of course, going into San Francisco, again, where they started when they moved out of Philadelphia. So, anyway, we want to come back. Matter of fact, why don't we just keep it on the basketball note as we've got Coach Malone's comments on the Nuggets. And, again, they are now fighting for playoff spot number 2. And they got a half-game lead.
And they're coming off a loss against Portland, too.
Oh, they got punished in the Moda Center last night by the Trailblazers. So we'll hear those comments from Coach Malone after we take this timeout right here on 1480 KRAE.
At Platte Valley Bank, we understand that you have a busy life, and that means you don't always have time to come to the bank. That's why we offer user-friendly online and mobile banking with features such as bill pay, recurring transfers, and mobile deposit, so you can bank how you want when you want to. Whether you prefer to bank in person, over the phone, or online, Platte Valley Bank makes it easy to take care of your finances.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
You can count on Platte Valley Bank. Community banking for you.
Capital Lumber is lumber one in Cheyenne. Are you listening? We're all the lumber store you'll ever need. For electrical, plumbing, paint, and tools, lumber and hardware, we're for you. And we're out to earn your business, yes indeed. Capital Lumber is lumber one today. Are you listening? Capital Lumber's at your service all the way.
Capital Lumber Company, serving our area for over 53 years at 1222 Dunn Avenue in Cheyenne. Do you want the peace of mind of a professionally installed security camera system? Then go with the name you trust, High West Digital Solutions, a High West energy company. The experienced team at High West Digital Solutions will customize a video security system for you, helping you keep an eye on everything going on inside or outside your home or business. Go to hwds.com or call 307-245-4333. High West Digital Solutions, the best choice, the local choice, the right choice for you.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner. Right now it's time to head over to Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service for low prices on outstanding RVs in Wyoming. Your local, exclusive Jayco dealer wants you to check out their closeout deals as well as their 2019 inventory of trailers, fifth wheels, and toy haulers. You can save up to 30% on select models with approved credit. You can find them at 6102 East Highway 30. Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service is a proud sponsor of LCCC men's and women's basketball, also our local high school teams too.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call the Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Well, the Y's for today, mostly sunny and breezy. Expect the daytime high of 69. Westerly winds at 15 to 20. For tonight, partly cloudy, continued breezy. Our low down to 39. Partly sunny for tomorrow. We're looking for a daytime high near 70. Southwesterly winds at 5 to 15. And for Tuesday night, we're calling for a mostly cloudy sky with a chance of showers, mainly after midnight, with our low dropping down to 36 degrees.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
All right, Coach, obviously a big run to end the game, but I think all things considered, your guys played a pretty good game out there. What did you see?
Yeah, I thought the effort was great. Second half defense was phenomenal. Started with that starting group, and the guys who came off the bench maintained that defensive effort. The biggest thing with this game was we didn't rebound. That's the story of the game. They had 17 offensive rebounds for 22 second chance points. So you got to finish off your defense with that gang rebound, and we did a poor job of that all night long. So that and missed free throws were probably the two biggest reasons why we lost the game.
Gary Harris, meanwhile, did put 18 points on the board. How nice is it just to see his offensive game get back on the court?
Yeah, one of the things I was really hoping that would happen tonight is just getting Gary into a rhythm, get him some confidence, and the way Gary was attacking the basket tonight and finishing, that was great to see. And hopefully that can continue these last two and then into the postseason.
You know what? Is this early success? Is that what allowed you to kind of just say, all right, late in the game, don't worry about it. We've seen everything we need to see from you tonight?
Yeah, I toyed with the idea of going back with our starting group, but it was around just under the 5-minute mark. The guys that were in the game, Isaiah, Malik, Wancho, Torrey, and Mason were playing well. We're up by 6, I think. And so at that point, it was kind of like the point of no return. Those guys were sitting on the bench for so long, and the guys that were in the game were playing so well. I wanted to give them a chance to finish it out. And obviously, they went on a big run with their starting group. They're a good team. They're talented. And, we weren't able to close the deal.
Is Torrey continuing to kind of make a case for himself to be a part of this playoff rotation with, obviously, he's had the defense all year, but starting to knock down shots and be a viable offensive weapon for you?
Yeah, and he's been a guy that, since the All-Star break has been part of the rotation. He's, some games, some matchups, he may be a little bit more important than others, but overall, every night what you're going to get from Torrey. He's going to give you great defense. He's a guy that can, offer great versatility on that end of the floor. And then offensively, his ball, his cutting and moving without the ball, and his ability to make shots like he did tonight makes him a really valuable weapon for us. So, Torrey's a big part of what we're trying to do now and into the future.
What does Gary do when he's attacking like that, is aggressive like that? What does it do to unlock your offense?
Well, for a while we were just settling for not tonight, but in the last couple of weeks, we fell into a habit of settling jumper after jumper after jumper. And, when your jumper's not going, you got to find other ways to score and impact the game. And, Gary Harris is a guy that should be turning the corner, living in the paint, finishing, kicking out, or getting to the foul line. So, obviously, you want to make sure you're getting high percentage looks. So when Gary gets to the rim, he's a completely different animal.
Do you expect you guys to be full against Utah?
We'll have to see. Obviously, we've got a travel day tomorrow, and we'll figure out what's best for us in that game.
How do you weigh that? What's the how difficult are these decisions to make when you're looking at those resting or not?
Yeah, not really difficult. I'm going to do what's best for our team. So, once we get to Utah, I'll kind of analyze where we're at and what's in front of us, then we'll make a decision based on that.
Well, a team that the Nuggets share the Pepsi Center with is the Colorado Avalanche. They're done with the regular season, so it is playoffs now in the National Hockey League. Nuggets will be down this week.
Put out the word to talk with head coach Jared Bednar about the Avs and their playoffs in the regular season, but media relations, unfortunately, said, hey, it's a busy time, and he can't join us. So, unfortunately, at least do want to be open and honest. Been at least trying to reach head coach Jared Bednar, but unfortunately, the Avs said, no, he's a busy boy right now dealing with playoffs. They got a big one coming up in the first round of the playoffs. Also, too, regarding the playoffs, as we did a bracket challenge last year, we did a bracket challenge, at least me and him, by ourselves. We'll post that online at 1480KRAE.com to kind of play along, at least along at home. Unfortunately, we're not going to do the bracket challenge with the folks this season. Just didn't have enough time to get everything all squared away with that. But looking at the NHL playoffs for 2019, especially on the Western Conference side, especially including the at least Colorado Avalanche, who will be that second wildcard team once again this season. So at least did not fall from graces, did not improve. They kind of just stood pat and making back into the playoffs for the second time in a row. But
they battled.
They battled, but also too they got good fortunes from an ailing Arizona team that just couldn't find a win there at the end of at least the regular season. For the Colorado Avalanche, though, they got a tough one. They're going to take on the best team in the West, a team that pretty much cruised in the Western Conference. That'd be the Calgary Flames. And this one compared to last year, where they gave a fight to Nashville, Calgary, I would think this matchup's a little bit tougher for the Avs compared to what they saw with the Preds last year at Nashville. Calgary, there's no reason that the Flames do not make it past the first round against the Avalanche. The Flames are just that good this year.
See, and I disagree with you. I think the Avalanche are coming in. They're a little high right now, and I think they are playing some good hockey. If they could steal at least one in the Saddle Dome, I think the Avs win this thing in six games.
I just don't.
I just got confidence in the Avalanche.
I don't see it. Calgary is just a team. Yes, they are up and down, a roller coaster ride franchise out there where they make the playoffs, they miss it, they make it, they miss. I think Calgary, though, has enough pieces. They've been developing a lot of their players. They've kind of gone to their farm system, quote unquote, looked at their minors that have been very successful. And Calgary, I think, right now is a team where do I crown them or at least say they're making it to the NHL final, at least the Stanley Cup Finals? No. But I think in this first round matchup between the Avs and Calgary Flames, Colorado, yes, they've been playing great hockey down at the end, but Colorado is a team that has found ways to shoot themselves in the foot. It's a team that has found themselves into overtime games, eventually overtime losses.
Right.
And again, where those overtime losses, points don't matter at this point. It means that you're down one game in a series to the Calgary Flames.
And it came back and bit them. So, again, there's not overtime losses. Again, these were like on shootouts. This will be sudden death now. That's the way you play the playoffs, so it's sudden death.
Well, I get that. But I'm just saying, though, those OT losses that they have matched, again, that's going to equate to, hey, you don't get a point. Guess what? That just means you're down one game to the Calgary Flames.
But again, everybody in the playoffs are 0-0, so that's the way I look at it. I would have said this, though. If Colorado had San Jose or even Vegas, I wouldn't have had them moving on. I think San Jose and Vegas are a little bit better than the Avalanche. Calgary, I think they can sneak by because Calgary,
a team that has dominated in the Pacific Division, who pretty much were well ahead of San Jose or Vegas.
And Calgary's rested. I mean, they haven't really had much to play for, have they?
Well, the same with the Nashville Preds last year, but guess what? They took their business against
and the Avalanche took 6 games last year. So
I think Calgary's, though, a better team than what Colorado ran into last year with Nashville. I just don't see the Avs moving past Calgary. It's going to be tough.
I also for that one upset, and I think this might be
this isn't the NCAA tournament. I mean, let's be honest.
That one upset in the playoffs, and I think this might be it right here in the first round.
It's going to be a rarity. I just don't see it with the Avs. Calgary is just a good team. They've proven it this entire regular season of just what they've been doing in the Western Conference, especially there in the Pacific Division. Avs, they got a tough one. They got, compared to Columbus, Columbus might give a fight to Tampa Bay, but there's no way that the Blue Jackets up in the Lightning. But those 1 versus wildcard 2 matchups, at least in this year's playoffs on both sides, on the Western and Eastern side, it's not pretty.
I gave Columbus a sympathy game. I think Tampa Bay sweeps that in 4. Moving on to San Jose and Vegas, and I really had to toss that one up, because I think Vegas is good, but they've had their struggles this year, and they did not. They did not.
Their struggles are their struggles are at least in the net right now. It depends on what's going to happen. Who's going to be the netminder? I would assume Fleury is going to at least hopefully come back. But again, if you do have Subban in there for Vegas, I don't really trust the guy. It's something we're even seeing that matchup between Vegas and Colorado there at the Pepsi Center. Right now, Vegas, their main issue is just defense. And again, the netminder right now for the Golden Knights. For me, obviously, again, beloved at least with these Golden Knights, love Vegas. Love this team, saw what they did last year. They could find that momentum. This is a team that's been here, done it. They know what it takes to get to that end goal of at least the Stanley Cup final. Vegas and San Jose, though, this is a tough matchup right now. Two teams that know each other very well. San Jose has been a team that's kind of floated under the radar. They've been bypassed by Calgary of what they've been doing in the Western Conference. And also, I would say the other big name in the Western Conference has been Winnipeg. But San Jose is kind of that sleeping giant where they've been in the playoffs as well. They know what it takes. And this is going to be a bloodbath where I anticipate it'll be a 7-game series. But I think Vegas is proven enough, especially last year, and I think this season where they could find that momentum again. They could find that way to advance on here in this Western Conference, as tough as it may be. I say Vegas gets it done in 7.
And this is why I had it going 7, and the only reason I gave it to San Jose, they got home ice advantage. That's the only reason I said they're going to win all their games in the tank.
They're beatable at the tank. I mean, we saw that last year.
Other side, Boston and Toronto. Do we need to go any further? Boston?
I go with Toronto. I honestly think the Maple Leafs this year. It was a surprise team, at least of what they did, transitioning around. But I think Toronto. I had this one actually in favor of Toronto in 5 games. Looking at my bracket. The Maple Leafs, it's another team that I put on the same part, at least line with San Jose, of where they've kind of felt, at least compared to Tampa, compared to Washington, compared to at least the New York Islanders, of what they've been doing, they've kind of floating under the radar where this is a dangerous team. And I think it's kind of that entry-level team where Toronto's back into it. It's going to get that crowd fired up in there for some playoff hockey up there in Canada. And I see Toronto gaining that momentum, gaining that kind of Vegas-style-esque momentum that we saw last year, and getting it done against Boston.
Okay, you and I disagree on that one. Nashville, Dallas, we go with the Preds?
For me, weird enough, I went with the Stars.
Wow.
I think the Stars are on the Dallas. I don't disrespect. It's another team, same vein of Toronto, where they are a formidable threat.
They were 3 points ahead of the Avs.
But
they were not all that great.
Yeah, you have the Avs moving on, so you diss the Stars. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
The Avalanche had to fight harder to get into the playoffs.
I think Dallas, though, can where we saw last year where Colorado put up the fight against Nashville, Dallas, though, I think could be that team to upset Nashville. Nashville does not impress me as a number 1 team, especially out of the Central Division, where I thought Winnipeg should have won that division instead. But Dallas, I think they have enough tools where they can piece together. They're going to look at that film from last year and see what the Avs did and put it at least better to use And I think Nashville, as much as they're not as strong as they were last year, I think the Stars find that enough. And I had them winning in 6 games, and I got to go with Dallas.
All right, on the other side, it's Washington and Carolina. Hurricanes getting into the playoffs. Very short-lived.
For the first time in a long time for the Hurricanes. Washington,
this should
though,
be a sweep.
I give at least one at home for Carolina, where they'll find some momentum at home. But other than that, though, 5 games, Washington moves on.
Winnipeg, St. Louis. I like this.
Looks tough.
This is a good series.
That's good.
And again, it's going to go, I think, 6 games. I think Winnipeg, out of this conference, is the best team. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. Winnipeg, it's a franchise. Yes, I would say Winnipeg's better than Calgary. I think the Jets have
They're
enough.
better than Nashville, too.
Well, absolutely. I think they're better than a lot of teams right now in the Western Conference. Granted, we'll get into the conference finals, but for the Winnipeg Jets, yeah, they'll take care of business against St. Louis. That's going to be another dogfight, another 2-3 great matchup where it doesn't go to 7, but in my opinion, I think goes to 6 games. Winnipeg
4-2 winners.
They might lose a few. They might lose a couple, at least the 2 in St. Louis. But I think they get it done there in their home crowd. Again, that white fan base out there where, again, they wear all white at home. The whiteout, as it said, at least for the Winnipeg Jets.
They know how to do a real whiteout.
Yeah,
so
they certainly do. And I think the Jets, yes, they are, in my opinion, the best team. That's tough to say because, again, it goes into my conference finals.
Okay.
But in my opinion of the regular season, for the Western Conference, Winnipeg was the best team. I think they were better than Calgary. But I think in this matchup, it's going to be another dogfight. Jets should move
over the East, and I flipped on this one. I had the Penguins, and I said, nope. The Islanders deserve the respect. This is a team that flew under the radar because, again, too, this is a team really without a home. And they're
kicked out of the Barclays. They're back at the Coliseum, and they're supposed to have a new arena, I think, for either next season or 2 years from now. But, at least New York Islanders are back on the island, at least playing in the Coliseum, not at Barclays.
And through all the disruptions, they played excellent hockey.
Well, and again, you lose Tavares, who's now playing with Toronto, but again, hit their big scorer, and guess what? They did perfectly fine. They basically said, hey, you are what's preventing us from getting to the playoffs. Let's say goodbye to you, and they've done pretty well. And I didn't even give a passing glance at this one. This, again, the 2-3 matchups are always those good games, those good matchups, those good lasting series. I don't disrespect Pittsburgh. You can't disrespect the Penguins. Sidney Crosby and company out there, they've been in this position. They're like Washington. They're like Nashville. Hey, they know what it takes. But New York Islanders, they're creating something special as well, too. Same vein of Dallas, same vein of Toronto. New York Islanders, they get it done 7 games against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I have this one also going 7 games as well. All right, so we gave you the first round. We'll come back later on, or do you want to just keep on this discussion here, or do we want?
Well, we need to take a break.
We do need to take a break, and when we come back, we are going to get the comments of head coach Jared Bednar of the Colorado Avalanche as they prepare for the Flames, who the older pro man says, go Avs. I think he can beat the Flames. So we're going to hear his comments after we take this time out right here on 1480 KRAE. Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast. Only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Join in for a festive evening of fun, food, and live auction in Cheyenne on Monday, May 6th at the historic Little Bear Inn which is sponsoring the Love Never Forgets Gala to benefit the Wyoming chapter of the Alzheimer's Association. The event is being held to support the services provided on behalf of the nearly 30,000 Wyomingites affected by this relentless form of dementia. For more information, call the Alzheimer's chapter at 316-2892. That's 316-2892. Or visit First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue for your tickets. Remember, at First Tier Bank, you'll find the best rate on a 27-month CD with a 3.10% annual percentage yield. Your locally owned and operated radio stations, KYOI-FM and 1480 KRAE AM, are just that, local, serving Cheyenne and Laramie County, where your advertising dollar stays local too. It doesn't end up in Colorado, Oklahoma, New Hampshire, or even New York. We conduct business here, we shop here, and we live here. And we support our entire community 24/7, 365. Just because it has a window dressing doesn't mean it isn't a facade. A reminder from KYOI and 1480 KRAE.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Good game, boys. You showed some real fight. Like when Wachowski put that hit on our own mascot. Solid work, son. Okay, Friday was for football, but Tuesday is for tacos. Taco Tuesday at Taco John's. It's a sacred holiday where we eat tacos repeatedly until I get full.
Save big every Taco Tuesday with crispy beef tacos for just 99 cents.
Get some rest, boys, because come Taco Tuesday, we olay the day.
Olay the day at Taco John's.
We're starting our 14th year, and we still believe in putting you first by making it easy to own a new Kia vehicle. I'm AJ Miller for Kia of Cheyenne, and right now, we can help get you into a new 2019 Kia Sportage for less than Honda CR-V, Toyota RAV4, or Ford Escape. The 2019 Kia Sportage comes standard with power-adjustable rear-view mirrors, rear camera display, remote keyless entry, and more. Come into Kia of Cheyenne, call 775-0123, or go to kiaofcheyenne.com. We'll make it easy.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Well, the Y's for today, mostly sunny and breezy. Expect the daytime high of 69, westerly winds at 15 to 20. For tonight, partly cloudy, continued breezy. Our low down to 39, partly sunny for tomorrow. We're looking for a daytime high near 70, southwesterly winds at 5 to 15. And for Tuesday night, we're calling for a mostly cloudy sky with a chance of showers, mainly after midnight, with our low dropping down to 36 degrees.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Quick thoughts on the Calgary Flames, the opponent. I know that you probably knew that before the game, but it taken a little steam out of the next game. But,
yeah. Well, real good team, right? They won the Western Conference by pretty good margin, and deep team, right from their defenders all the way out through their forward group, and obviously they have, the star power up front too that makes plays a lot. They make a lot of plays. When I watch them play games on TV, I watch them. They make plays. They play at a good pace. They got a good mix of grit and determination and skill, and they're a good team. They're a really good team.
You think back to some of those games this year. I mean, you're able to get up, and then of course they come back. What were some of those takeaways you think about from Calgary in terms of just why things shifted in those games?
Well, I didn't like our goaltending in the one game. I thought we outplayed them. That was the first time in Calgary since I've been here that we played a really solid game, and we had one at home too that I thought we let off the gas, and they were going through, a streak of games where they were coming back on everyone they were playing and winning hockey games. So there's lots of things that we can look at there that we liked, and then there'll be things that we got to improve on. But I'm not at that point yet. I'll start that tomorrow.
As a guy from Saskatchewan nearby, won't be special for you.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun series. I think just for everyone, you're playing a Canadian opponent, hitting Western Canada. There'll be a lot of our Western guys will have friends and family in the building, and should be an exciting series. And we're excited just to be back in the playoffs. And they're a tough opponent. It's going to be a great challenge for us. But there's no question it's going to be a lot of fun playing in Canada.
And as far as your evaluation process, just with tonight, do you really take anything out of this, or can you really?
Yeah, it's today. I didn't think the game was played with a real high intensity level, both teams knowing where they sit. I like their energy and the way we skated, but I look at every goal. We made a mistake on every goal, starting with, Varley on the first one. And then, we had some puck play and some decision making that wasn't quite sharp. But I guess it's to be expected. I don't love it, but our habits were pretty good, and we checked and we did some good things. So season's over. We got out of it healthy, which is very important. And now we're moving on, and we'll shift our focus to the playoffs and to the Calgary Flames.
One last thing, I know Nate's on 99. Was there a concerted effort toward the end about trying to get him 100?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he probably played 3.5 minutes out of the last 4 and empty net, and the power plays. Yeah, I think that's why, the 6 versus 5 probably wasn't as effective as it could have been, because everyone wanted to get it over to Nate so he could touch it before we made something happen. Sure. And he was pushing it. But, I think that was at that point in the game. The game is on the line, but it's 2 goals. It's the last couple minutes. I'd love to see him get 100 too, but it just didn't happen. Scored a great goal tonight, though.
How would you assess your team's overall readiness for the playoffs?
Well, I think we're getting healthy. Number one, that's important, and we'll have all of our players available to us. I've loved our habits and our determination down the stretch. I mean, to sort of kick down the front door and get in the playoffs and go 8-0-2 down the stretch, I think is a real good sign. So we should be confident. We know we're playing a real good opponent, so there's going to be challenges. But I think we're in a good spot from a mental state of mind, from a physical side, and yeah, I don't mind our team game at all right now. So it's going to be a whole new level come Thursday, I think, whenever we play. But I like what we're doing right now. Hopefully we can carry that on and build on that into the playoffs.
Quick thought.
Well, we heard from head coach Mike Malone of the Denver Nuggets just recently. Jared Bednar, the head coach of the Colorado Avalanche. Coming on the 4 o'clock hour, we'll hear from the 18 and under head coach of the Cheyenne Extreme, Adam Galicia. I do believe he's bringing in a player that we'll have a chance to introduce.
Yeah, it'd be his daughter.
All right.
Pitcher Ariana, at least Galicia. So we'll talk with both of them. Again, kind of doing an introduction, at least as we done with LCCC, as we have done with the Cheyenne Stampede. We're looking to do that with softball and possibly baseball as well, too. At least kind of introduce the city of Cheyenne and whoever else around the world, again, as we video live stream on Periscope and YouTube. Again, at least introduce the folks out there who are tuning in to the local talent here in Cheyenne.
Absolutely. All right, so real quick here, while we were talking about the playoffs and we figured we'd get into that first round, we're going to move on to the next round, and we'll move along quickly.
And again, these are just our predictions, and again, we've already sized up what was the first round, but now this is kind of going off of what we think is going to
All right, so I had in the first round Colorado and San Jose moving on to the next round, and from there I've got San Jose defeating Colorado. On the bottom half of the bracket, I have Nashville and Winnipeg, and I've got the Jets. So I've got the Jets and San Jose going for the conference finals. You?
For me, I had Calgary taking care of business against Colorado, and Vegas going 7 games against San Jose. So I got the Knights versus Calgary, and that one, again, I got to pull with the Golden Knights. I think it's a team that can still have that momentum, that magical power within them to at least take care of business. So I got the Knights moving on from that second round matchup between them and the Calgary Flames. And then looking at least for the Western Conference for the second round, I have Dallas upending Nashville in the first round, along with Winnipeg taking care of business against St. Louis. So Dallas versus Winnipeg. Sorry, Dallas, at least according to me, your season comes to an end when you take on these Winnipeg Jets. So I have in the conference finals, at least the Western Conference finals, the Vegas Golden Knights taking on the Winnipeg Jets.
Boy, we differ on just about everything on this here.
You might want to go with me because we saw what happened to your bracket last year. You were not even close.
No, at least I got you.
You weren't even close in the NCAA tournament.
I got you in football. That's all that matters. I beat you in the NFL, and that's all that matters.
You beat me by 1 game.
Did I win?
Barely.
Bottom line, I won.
I came back and almost
stick
won.
a fork in you, you're done. All right, moving on to the East. Second round, I have Tampa Bay defeating Columbus. In the opening round, I got Boston getting by Toronto, so I got Tampa Bay, the Lightning, the number 1 seed, going up against Boston. I got Tampa Bay moving on to the conference finals. On the other side of the bracket, I had Washington defeating Carolina, and the Islanders getting by Pittsburgh, what I think is going to be a great series. And I've got Washington, the Islanders. I've got Washington and the Lightning matching up in the Eastern Conference Finals.
For my second round on the eastern side of things, Tampa Bay takes care of business against Columbus easily. And then I have Toronto getting the slight upset in 5 games against the Boston, at least, Bruins. In that matchup, you can't disrespect Tampa Bay again. The President's Cup, at least winner, best team in all of NHL. I think Tampa Bay takes care of business against Toronto. Looking at the other matchup as well in that second round, for me, I have at least Washington defeating Carolina to move on, and then the Islanders take care of business in a 7-game series against the Pittsburgh Penguins. So Washington versus New York Islanders. This one, I win a little. I go for that team of that could be a little bit of destiny. And that's going to be the New York Islanders for me. I think they up in the Stanley Cup champions of the Washington Capitals, where, again, Washington can be that immortal team, and I think they will be this season. They'll get slipped up by the New York Islanders, so I have Tampa Bay versus the New York Islanders in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Conference Finals, San Jose, Winnipeg. For me, I've got the Jets moving on to the Stanley Cup Finals on the other side of the bracket.
Which is respectable.
Tampa Bay Lightning and Washington. I got Washington trying to go for the repeat cup.
I don't see it either way. For the Western Conference Finals, I got Vegas versus Winnipeg. Sorry, again, I got to pull from my Vegas Golden Knights. I still think they can get it done. Again, they did it last year. They could certainly do it again this year. Hopefully, at least it depends on the netminder. If they can get that goalie situation figured out, this could be possible. So I have Vegas taking care of business against Winnipeg Jets. That should be a good matchup if it does happen. On the eastern side, Tampa Bay versus the New York Islanders for me. Sorry, Islanders, your run comes to an end in the Eastern Conference. I give that full respect to the Tampa Bay Lightning of what they have done this entire season. It pays off where it will be the Stanley Cup final between, for me at least, the Vegas Golden Knights and the Tampa Bay Lightning, the expansion Stanley Cup final.
And hoisting the cup for me, it will be repeat for the Capitals this year as they will defend and win the Stanley Cup again.
For me, Vegas Golden Knights versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. Vegas came close last year to at least hoisting the cup. This year, I say Vegas can do it. I say the Vegas Golden Knights, after last year's at least close effort, at least to getting the Stanley Cup there to Sin City, I think they get it done against Tampa Bay Lightning. The severe underdogs probably going into that contest against the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Vegas Golden Knights, they find a way this season after last year's heartbreak to hoist the cup finally.
That is our picks. We'll see how things come about.
And again, that will be all posted.
9 weeks.
Yeah, well, we'll see. That will also do, again, we will post both of our brackets online at 1480krae.com. Just search for Wyoming Sports Talk today. You look for our weekly sports picks. You click on that, and it will be there along with our NCAA brackets, our MLB picks, and now the NHL Stanley Cup Playoff Bracket Challenge. So that will be posted online as well.
All right, so yeah, I can't run and hide from that one if you're going to give me grief. 4:01 hour time. We'll be back with hour number 2.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30, Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range directly across Menards, Ray and Sidney's place over at Chick-fil-A. Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way, Platte Valley Bank ×2, the original location on Vanda High, east side location right there at the corner of College and Pershing. Medicare Pharmacy. For all your pharmaceutical needs, same location as always, Gene's Place. Check them out over on Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Lennox Auto Body, the auto and truck repair center on Dunn Avenue, and the Auto Glass and Detail Center can be found on Pershing Boulevard. First True Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue, directly across the street in the Greenway Commons. Paisan cuisine at its best. From Joe Mondello and the crew over at Mondello's Pizzeria. 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. Mars Plumbing Heating at 1515 Logan Avenue. And getting things underway, it's scoreboard time, brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. Here's Nick.
No NHL action for tonight as the regular season has wrapped up. And again, we're getting ready for playoffs for the NHL. But however, though, recapping from this past weekend, we will start with the Cheyenne Extreme as they were in action down in Loveland, competing in another tournament. Looking at Saturday's contest, 3 of them were the Cheyenne Extreme with 1-1. That included 1 win by a final of 13-5, 1 tie of 7-7, and 1 loss by 9-0. Moving to Sunday's contest for the Cheyenne Extreme, they did pick up a few victories, one including earlier on, at least in Sunday, 10-3. They lost at least Sunday afternoon against All-American Fast Pitch, 8-1, and then the championship game down in Loveland, Colorado, they got the 8-4 victory on Sunday. So the Cheyenne Extreme sitting right now at 8-3-1 overall.
Major League Baseball, a couple of finals in. Rays have defeated the White Sox today, 5-1 in Chicago, and Cubs win. They beat the Pirates, final score 10-0 at Wrigley. Both Chicago teams at home for today. Games getting underway when we depart. Yankees at the Astros. Athletics will be at Oriole Park to take on the Orioles. It will be the Nats and the Phils at Citizens Bank Park. Dodgers and the Cardinals will hook up at Busch. 6 o'clock hour at Kauffman Stadium. The Mariners and the Royals. It will be the Bravos and the Rockies at Coors Field. First pitch to get underway around about 6:40. Julio Teheran and Kyle Freeland for the Rockies. 7 o'clock games, we'll have the Padres at the Giants at Oracle Park in San Francisco. And it'll be the Brewers and the Angels at Angel Stadium of Anaheim. On the NBA slate, 11 games as we're getting down to the bare nubbins with contests, some with 1 left, some with 2. It will be the Hornets at the Cavaliers, Grizz and the Pistons, Celtics and the Wizards, 76ers at the Heat. Knicks will be taking on the Bulls in the United Center, Raptors, T-Wolves at the Target Center. Warriors will match up with the Pelicans in the Smoothie Kings Center in New Orleans. It will be the Suns, Mavericks at American Airlines Center, Nuggets and the Jazz. Yes, the Nuggets still with something to play for at the Vivint Smart Home Arena. Rockets and the Thunder at the Chesapeake Energy Arena. Trailblazers, Lakers tonight at Staples, the late night contest. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. Glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand. So find a store already, grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
Are you tired of paying ATM fees? Hi, this is Rick Flood, president of Platte Valley Bank in Cheyenne. Use your Platte Valley Bank ATM or Visa debit card at any ATM anywhere. We won't charge you a fee on our end, and we'll reimburse any fee you incur at any other ATM. That's right, no ATM fees at Platte Valley Bank. How about that? Platte Valley Bank, 3310 North College Drive and 421 Van High Avenue, or pvbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Count on Platte Valley Bank. Community banking for you.
Is excess weight affecting your health? Have you decided to do something about it? The Weight Management Program at Consultants in Surgery at Cheyenne Regional Medical Group can help improve the health and well-being of people who are overweight and struggling with diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, and sleep apnea. Why wait? The time is now. To see if weight loss surgery is right for you, call 307-632-1114 or visit CheyenneRegional.org/weight-loss.
Why do we work all hours of the night? Head towards challenges instead of turning away, and work together to solve the toughest problems so you can enjoy the little things and all the big moments life has to offer. Tri-State and High West Energy. Brighter, stronger, better together.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs. calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, mostly sunny and breezy. Expect a daytime high of 69. Westerly winds at 15 to 20. For tonight, partly cloudy, continued breezy. Our low down to 39. Partly sunny for tomorrow. We're looking for a daytime high near 70. Southwesterly winds at 5 to 15. And for Tuesday night, we're calling for a mostly cloudy sky with a chance of showers mainly after midnight, with our low dropping down to 36 degrees.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Well, welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk today. You know, similar to what we do with our LCCC Coaches Show, we get a chance here throughout the spring/summer.
Cheyenne Stampede as well, too. I mean,
Yes,
we cover all sports.
Well, and we have in studio the Cheyenne Extreme, 18 and under, Adam Galicia, head coach. And again, who made a correction to us. They're still 8-3-1, but the semifinal and championship game flip-flop, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened in Game Changer, but it's definitely in reverse order. I don't know if we didn't finalize the game in time or something, but yeah, the game that we lost on Sunday was a championship game.
So not champions of the Loveland tournament instead of runner-ups, so at least it doesn't sound as pretty.
Second place, it's not as bad.
It's still, I'm still very proud of the girls to make it there.
You know, and this is interesting, too, because we're not playing at home. Everything you've done thus far is on the road. And that's got to be tough because, again, when the Extreme show up, even just like rec softball, it draws a crowd. And, again, you got some parents that come down with you, some family members, but it's nothing like home cooking. Do you feel like you're also at a disadvantage being on enemy turf?
It definitely feels that way. I mean, we love to be able to get teams to travel to Cheyenne a little bit more often. I mean, there's a couple teams that do come, but it's the same teams from Gering and Casper. We like to see these Colorado teams come up. I mean, they come up for Extreme Weekend, but we can't get them to come up for weekday games or, just even weekend games.
It's tough as well, too, where we were kind of discussing off air where you got to deal with, snow coming up this weekend, rains in the forecast next weekend up here again. The weather's not the best up in this part of, at least of the country here in the city of Cheyenne, so you do have to deal with that as well, to potential cancellations. But looking at that also, too, it's definitely for the Cheyenne Extreme, it's not a cheap venture to at least keep on going down and dealing with these kind of on-the-road tournaments.
Yeah, no doubt. And, like last week was the first week we could actually, by the city rules, get on the fields. And weather's stopped us before. We have girls that come from Torrington. Sometimes they travel from further, so it's even a longer trip for them to get down to Denver, Aurora, a lot of different places. They have to plan on coming down Friday night and staying Friday and Saturday night down there.
It's interesting, and we were also chatting off air here, and again, we get a lot of discussion in a couple of minutes that we do as we bring into the studio. We had the athletic directors in here a couple weeks ago, as we were talking about what could be reality coming up here in the state of Wyoming.
Again, there's teams that have signed up, but not enough, at least so far, that have at least what the
Cheyenne's basically holding the cards right now, the trump card. But fast pitch for South, East, and Central. And the interesting part is, if those teams do come into play, Coach, it's going to be a combination of your Extreme ladies along with rec ladies playing fast pitch. But also, does that put a delay into your season, so to speak, if it does come into play?
Yeah, it does. It means we're not starting our club ball season until May. But the reality is, a lot of our Extreme girls, they were our school district was kind of putting the onus on us, saying they didn't think our girls would want to participate. But a lot of our girls, that varsity letter, high school letter, is important to them. So whether we're on board or not, it's going to happen, and they're actually up to 7 schools now, or 7 school districts that have voted it in. There's another one, I think Casper's voting tonight, and looks like it's going to be a positive vote. So most likely after tonight, there's going to be a high school softball in Wyoming, and I definitely would like to see Cheyenne a part of it. And we need to get with the school district and get them moving a little bit, because I don't see a lot of movement on their side.
Let me ask you this, though, too, and again, where you have these young ladies, as early as January, and matter of fact, you're having tryouts, before Christmas time. But let me ask you this, though, if this does come to be reality, obviously you'll have that opportunity to go to all of these games and scout, and hopefully be able to pick up your team. But is it better for the young ladies to play in that high school atmosphere and then come out for the extreme?
I think so. I think it has potential to be a good thing. I mean, you're gonna see a lot more girls get excited, get involved in it. You're gonna see some girls come out of the woodworks that maybe didn't even know they had the ability to be a competitive softball player. And there's definitely enough good knowledge in Cheyenne about softball in the schools with the different people that will probably be applying for coaching spots, that the skill level will definitely increase, from the rec program to more of a mid-level between rec and a competitive.
Does this help your team, so to speak, by starting in May when the fast pitch season ends for the high schools, because it'll end about the same time as soccer? But does that help you as far as scheduling, where you'll be able to maybe stay in town a little bit more instead of taking these early trips down south? I mean, you know this better than I do. I'm sure you're already planning for the future as well. What does this do for the program?
I think, like any program, we have a few people that think our program is going to fall apart because of it. I, on the other hand, don't believe that. I think it could be a good thing. We have in the past, a number of our teams don't start playing until May anyways, because the girls' involvement in other sports. And if high school fast pitch becomes that other sport, well, at least they're practicing it, in March, April, and playing games, and they're not waiting until the end of April or May to start competing. So I think it could be a pretty good thing.
And again, hopefully it will be a reality, as it's looking like it will become a thing here in the state of Wyoming. Just waiting on to see what Casper does, and also in the at least city of Cheyenne, or at least Laramie County School District number 1, to see what they do for East, Central, and South. But for at least focusing on this season, though, however, at least looking back to this past weekend down in Loveland, Colorado, we had 6 games, 3 on both Saturday and Sunday. Again, coming away at least overall record right now 8-3-1. Just take us back on Saturday and Sunday, just what you saw from this past weekend.
I'm going to be honest, be realistic. Saturday we didn't play our best ball, but we're competing. We're working hard, and that's what I keep trying to impress on the girls, that not every weekend you're not going to be playing your best ball, but if you come with the work ethic, good things will always happen. May not always be the best on the scoreboard, but we'll battle. And so Saturday was not such a great day. Sunday was a whole new attitude. The girls came in ready to work. I tried to tell the girls that, in the past we've had teams that are good enough where on Saturdays we do we're still in the finding out process with the new team, find out who can play here, what spot you can hit in and whatever. So we're trying some things on Saturdays. We're going to lose some games because of it. But on Sundays, if we're good enough, we can win from any position. No matter where we finish at in pool, we have the ability to come back and make a run at the championship.
Well, and you got to like where your position is, as you at least alluded to, where you are, again, 8-3-1 on the season early on, but you are missing some pieces right now due to at least whatever high school athletics are going on, whether it's soccer or track or something like that. Again, you will get more pieces once school and those, at least spring sports, wrap up. But, I mean, right now, 8-3-1, you got to be pretty happy of where this team is now and the potential it could be once we get that full lineup there for the Cheyenne Extreme.
Oh, no doubt. I'm very pleased with where we're at. I told my team, even the best teams we've had in the past, we have the opportunity to play for 5 or 6 tournament championships. I told this team here, come work hard. We're going to have the opportunity to play for 3, 4, or 5 championships this year. I mean, every weekend things have to go right. You have to get some calls, but most time you just have to be the effort. here we are, two tournaments out, and we're played for championship both times. So definitely pleased with where we're at.
Adam Galicia, head coach of the 18 and under Cheyenne Extreme. Coach, where Nick was mentioning 8-3-1, and again, kind of spring training really for the Extreme. You get a chance to look at many different looks. Obviously, it's the same mindset as we talk about with high school hoops. It's not how you play, in December. It's where you're at in late February and March. That would be the same to hold true with your Extreme team. Not how you're playing out of the box in March and April, but where are you at in July and August when we get to the big dogs.
Yeah. And that's what I tell the girls. Our season typically goes through the end of July, that's exactly what I tell my team. We're gearing up. We're looking at the girls. We're putting them in positions to see. We're going through March, April to see where we're at in May. May starts the meat of our season, May and June. And so come by May, our lineup's going to be pretty well set. Our players are going to know where everybody fits on the team. Coaches, we know where everybody fits on the team, and we look to really take off in May.
Well, we're going to take a time out here in just a second. One last question here before we go to the break. Interchangeable parts. Obviously, Adam, you and me, we're both catchers. Do you expect us to be first basemen or outfielders? What are you looking at right now with every young lady that is available to you right now to play?
We definitely look for girls to play multiple positions. We try to get proficient at a couple different positions because with the limited amount of players we have, you have to. We have 4 pitchers this year, but when somebody's pitching, somebody has to be able to fill in whatever their full-time position is. So yeah, we definitely require the girls to at least to get proficient in 2 positions, possibly 3.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. We're going to come back with the head coach of the Cheyenne Extreme 18 under, Adam Galicia, after these words here on 1480 KRAE. Right now, it's time to head over to Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service for low prices on outstanding RVs in Wyoming. Your local, exclusive Jayco dealer wants you to check out their closeout deals, as well as their 2019 inventory of trailers, fifth wheels, and toy haulers. You can save up to 30% on select models with approved credit. You can find them at 6102 East Highway 30. Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service is a proud sponsor of LCCC men's and women's basketball, also our local high school teams too. Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast. Only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range.
Cheyenne's oldest coin dealer and supplier, The Coin Shop, is proud to serve the community since 1982. Trade or sell your gold, silver, and other precious metals. Visit with David and the knowledgeable staff for a fair and honest assessment of your valuables. Located at 510 West Lincoln Way. Call them today at 778-7196 to schedule your personal consultation.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-through window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-through window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Join in for a festive evening of fun, food, and a live auction in Cheyenne on Monday, May 6th at the historic Little Bear Inn, which is sponsoring the Love Never Forgets Gala to benefit the Wyoming chapter of the Alzheimer's Association. The event is being held to support the services provided on behalf of the nearly 30,000 Wyomingites affected by this relentless form of dementia. For more information, call the Alzheimer's chapter at 316-2892. That's 316-2892. Or visit First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue for your tickets. Remember, at First Tier Bank, you'll find the best rate on a 27-month CD with a 3.10% annual percentage yield.
Hello, this is Pastor Nathaniel Ensley with Blessed Hope Baptist Church in Burns, Wyoming, and I would like to invite you to listen to our weekly broadcast entitled Hope for Today, right here on 1480 KRAE, every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. Our goal during each broadcast is to bring you a simple and short Bible truth that will be a help to you. Sure hope you can tune in. God bless you.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing! And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Daughter here in just a little bit, part of the Cheyenne Extreme. You know, Adam, as we've had that chance now to talk with Ty Lane, for example, as, you know, post Sixers are going to be getting into play, also the Mustangs here in a little bit. With your pitchers being early in the season, and again, total different arm movement, so to speak, you know, where they can go the distance, where, you know, Ty will have his kids maybe on about a 40-30 pitch count. But do you, in this early part of the year, have your kids on a pitch count, or, hey, let's go the distance?
Yeah, typically we work hard enough that my pitchers, time-wise, you know, most of our games are hour and 15 long, and we usually don't go any longer than that, maybe hour and 20. So if we typically go about 4 or 5 inning games. Pitchers throw for about half that, we'll say. So I try to keep them in their whole game. Now, obviously, if a pitcher's things aren't going so well with that particular pitcher, you know, we'll switch it up, or maybe that team just hits that fastball. You know, if we got a fastball pitcher, we go and throw some junk in there, or vice versa. But typically, they're strong enough to go the whole game, even right off the bat.
Do you have in a fast pitch a closer? Do you have that bullpen ace? You know, again, we'll use your daughter for example. She goes 6 strong inning or 5 strong innings. You need somebody there in the 6th to shut the door.
Typically, you don't see that in fast pitch. I mean, normally because most teams have 2 solid pitchers, and because of the amount of games we play within 2 days, you know, normally a pitcher that starts a game pretty much finishes a game unless things aren't going well.
Keeping on the theme, at least with post-6 Cheyenne Mustangs, as we've talked with those respectable managers, again, with Ty Lane recently, but they talk about it, again, also, too, with the Cheyenne Stampede or any organization here in town. There are camps, there are tournaments, there are showcases for our local athletes, whether it's in Vegas, in Omaha, wherever it may be. Now, for the Cheyenne Extreme to at least get these athletes onto the next level, whether it's D1, D2, D3, JUCO softball around the nation. Does the Cheyenne Extreme have those opportunities throughout the at least season to showcase off its talent to college scouts?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And the biggest opportunity for us is during the Sparkler tournament we play in July. That's a big national recruiting tournament down in Denver. There's typically about 800 teams that come into Denver for that. But there's different, you know, once the college season gets done, there's a lot of our regional college coaches travel to all the softball tournaments, and they get their looks. And there's a bunch of showcase events, but those typically start more towards the end of the season and go through the fall. And that gives the girls a lot of opportunities to be seen by coaches.
Once again, you're heading back into Colorado this weekend for another tournament. And again, as Nick mentioned, weather could come into play. Don't know. I think it'd be more up here than it will be in Colorado. Do you see in these tournaments, again, early year tournaments, do you see roughly the same teams over and over again in these tournaments?
It's hit and miss. You're going to have, you know, like this, there were 16 teams this weekend, and there was probably 4 or 5 that we saw the first tournament, so there was that many new tournaments or new teams this weekend. So once you get into the 4th or 5th tournament, yeah, it's a lot of the same. So that's when we come into May and June, we definitely start trying to travel in Nebraska, South Dakota, that type of thing, you know, just to see new competition.
Final thought before we head to the break and bring your daughter in here. Scouting. I know we had this conversation last year. When you're in a tournament situation, it's almost like, well, you really can't scout the first team you're playing, but you move on to the next round. You have a chance to sit down and watch that team play. Is scouting important, you know, to setting up things for you in that next contest?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And the good thing about the way pool play for softball usually goes is all the teams that are in the same pool are usually playing on the same field. So when your game finishes, say if there's 4 teams in your pool, the next 2 teams are playing. So we warm up in the outfields, or I'll go sit in the outfield, and so we have the short fences, and yeah, I'll spend 3 or 4 innings watching, whoever the next team we're going to play. Yeah, but definitely scouting is a big deal.
All right, Adam. Well, thank you so much. We are looking forward to chatting with you throughout the course of the season, and again, bringing in different players to introduce the city of Cheyenne to our Cheyenne Extreme 1800 team. Take a time out. We'll be back after this right here on 1480 KRAE.
Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials.
Our Super Radio buys heard only right here feature Jack Daniels Old No. 7 Tennessee Whiskey, 1.75-liter bottle, $34.99. Captain Morgan Spiced Rum, 1.75-liter bottle, $19.99. And Miller High Life or High Life Light, 30-pack, 12-ounce cans, $19.99.
Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low-price leader.
Fish and shrimp are back. They're back. They're back at Taco John's. Come get them by the sack. Because they won't last long. Hooray! Hooray! Crispy fish tacos, popcorn shrimp street tacos too. Hurry to Taco John's because they're back. It's true. Hooray! For fish and shrimp. Hurry today. Hooray! For Taco John's. Come eat them every day.
At Platte Valley Bank, we understand that you have a busy life, and that means you don't always have time to come to the bank. That's why we offer user-friendly online and mobile banking with features such as bill pay, recurring transfers, and mobile deposit, so you can bank how you want when you want to. Whether you prefer to bank in person, over the phone, or online, Platte Valley Bank makes it easy to take care of your finances.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
You can count on Platte Valley Bank. Community banking for you.
Is excess weight affecting your health? Have you decided to do something about it? The Weight Management Program at Consultants in Surgery at Cheyenne Regional Medical Group can help improve the health and well-being of people who are overweight and struggling with diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, and sleep apnea. Why wait? The time is now. To see if weight loss surgery is right for you, call 307-632-1114 or visit CheyenneRegional.org/weight loss.
Why do we work all hours of the night? Head towards challenges instead of turning away. And work together to solve the toughest problems so you can enjoy the little things and all the big moments life has to offer. Tri-State and High West Energy. Brighter, stronger, better together.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
Weather-wise for today, mostly sunny and breezy. Expect the daytime high of 69. Westerly winds at 15 to 20. For tonight, partly cloudy, continued breezy. Our low down to 39. Partly sunny for tomorrow. We're looking for a daytime high near 70. Southwesterly winds at 5 to 15. And for Tuesday night, we're calling for a mostly cloudy sky with a chance of showers, mainly after midnight, with our low dropping down to 36 degrees.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on the show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Along with Nick Proity, Ariana Galicia joining us. Thank you. Did I say it right?
Yes.
All right. This is kind of a neat deal, too, and I'm glad that Nick brought this forward because, you know, when you go out and watch the Extreme, now you got an excuse to go out and watch the Extreme because we're introducing everybody to members on the 18 and under Extreme team. Ariana, what grade are you in?
I'm a sophomore at East.
Sophomore at East?
Yes.
And then, again, so this is 18 and under. How many years have you been with the program?
Well, I started at 10 and under, and I played that for 2 years, and I did the 12 and under for 2 years. Then I got injured, so I had to take a year off, and then I played 14 and under for 1 year, and this is my 3rd year on the 18s. So quite a while.
So been with the Cheyenne Extreme, been playing softball for quite some
Yeah.
time now. What got you into softball? Obviously, Dad's a coach, and maybe that was a little bit influential on you. But I mean, what about softball kind of attracted you to at least continue on to where you are now?
I would definitely say that my sister had an impact on me playing softball. I mean, I grew up watching her, and I was always at her games, so I really got to experience what everything would be about. Also, my brother played baseball, so then, I just kind of wanted to figure it out, try it out, and I couldn't see myself doing anything else. Like, I love it. It's awesome, and I love, meeting everyone. It's really cool.
Now, going off of that question, though, really quickly, not to cut you off there, again, not to do anything else, but sophomore at Cheyenne East, outside of softball, do you compete in basketball, track and field, anything like that on the high school level for Cheyenne East right now?
Yes, I do play volleyball at East, and I also I manage wrestling, so I stay pretty busy with that.
And what positions do you play on the Extreme?
Mainly I'm a pitcher. I also play first base, and if I'm needed in the outfield, I could play in outfield also.
Now, pitching, again, that takes a lot of skill. And again, just like the guys who have to do the full windup and throw, you have a lot of mechanics. Tell us a little bit who's been influential in helping you become a good pitcher.
Well, in pitching, I've had 2 pitching coaches. One of them is no longer with us, coaching me, but my new pitching coach, Amy Gurney, she also teaches at East, so I get to see her daily. But she's definitely had an impact on my pitching. She used to play softball also, so she knows what it's like, and she's been great helping me. She's really, helped me build up my confidence and working on the small things.
Kind of looking at that specialty with being a pitcher, is that something you like to kind of continue on, being in junior, senior year, and then possibly also, if you do get that chance of on that next level in the collegiate, are you looking to kind of specialize in being a pitcher?
Yes, most definitely. I love pitching. It's definitely where I'm most confident. I feel right where I should be when I'm doing it, so.
I think back to when I was pitching in high school, and my dad read a lot of materials and said, hey, when you lift weights, you don't do this, you don't do that. Are you into lifting weights to strengthen your arm? What exercises do you do to keep your arm pretty strong?
I am in weights at East, and so we do the daily workouts, but I do try and work on benching, stuff like that with my arms to try and get some more arm strength. Because definitely getting stronger helps with velocity, stuff like that.
Do you throw every day? Do you try to throw every day just to stay or to keep the arm loose?
I mostly every other day. Pitching every day is a lot. I have had shoulder problems in the past, and so we just try and take it easy. After a long weekend, I'll try and ease into it on a Tuesday practice, and then Thursday hit it pretty hard.
So when you go to school on Monday, you smell like Ben Gay, right? Everybody's like, oh, Ariana's here. Now let's flip it over from the defensive side to the offensive side. And again, I've had that opportunity to see, especially with extreme play. Also, my daughter played through the city thing. You see some very good pitching. Tell us a little bit about the pitchers that you're facing, especially here in the early part of the season. Because, again, you haven't had a lot of time on the field, so to speak, here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, because of the weather. But right away, you're thrown into the heat of battle. You're going to these tournaments. You're seeing all of these lady studesses pitchers out there firing BBs at you. Tell us a little bit about how you stay fresh in the hitting approach.
Well, at hitting, we always try and work on making our bat faster, stuff like that, hitting practice. And so it definitely helps getting into the weekend when you see pitchers who are known for their speed, stuff like that. I feel like that's mostly what we see. There are some pitchers who can throw more junk, stuff like that. So we do have to work on staying back on changeups, stuff like,
Do you hit off a jugs machine, or, does pop fire rockets at you?
We do hit off of pitching machines, so we could change the velocity on that. And we also do, coach pitching.
Speaking of your pops, again, we'll go in that family dynamic where, again, as a head coach of the Cheyenne Extreme, you're playing under him. Any added pressure for yourself of, again, being his daughter, being a part of his team? Do you have any sense of added pressure trying to perform well for your pops?
Well,
Not to put you hard on the spot or
yeah.
anything like that.
In the beginning years, I definitely did feel like I had to, well, not be perfect, but close to it. You know, I just felt like I definitely had a position on a team where people were always looking at me and like I always had to lead and things like that. But now I'm just starting to feel more comfortable. Like now I can just trust myself. I know that I can get the job done, so it's easier now.
And focusing on this season for you, what goals did you have heading into the season, or what are you focusing on right now? Whether it is hitting, so many strikeouts of a season, trying to get this many base at least hits or something. What goals do you have for this season?
For the season, I would say for like pitching, I was definitely trying to get at my velocity. Like I'm known more for like the spin on my ball, my changeup, stuff like that. So I was definitely trying to get my arm stronger, but now I'm also trying to learn a new pitch, and so I'm trying to get tighter spins, location, and just be more consistent.
Let's talk about your team. And again, we've talked about you. And again, the nice thing about your team is that you guys are going to be together all, from now until late July. Some of the kids that are back, and then it too, being a newbie. How do you incorporate all the new kids with this extreme team?
Yeah, on this team this year, we have a lot of new people coming in. So what we try to do is, so we used to do 2 days on Sundays, and so we would try and all go out to lunch, try and socialize, get to know each other better. We try and, since we have out-of-town girls, it's harder to see them in person. And so we always try to text, keep up with each other, maybe like FaceTime, stuff like that. But we definitely get to see each other, the in-town girls, more because of school sports and just like social things that might be going on.
Is this kind of like your second family?
Oh, most definitely, yes. These girls are very special this year. It's kind of nice because although I didn't play with some of them recently, now that I can have like a stronger connection, and we just get to learn each other on a new level.
Now, for you, as we talk with your pops, and we've been talking with 80s, and again, the rumor has been, at least it's looking like it's going to happen, of high school softball here in the state of Wyoming. Give us your thoughts on that, of the potential of playing, the likes of Casper or Gillette or Sheridan, having that high school atmosphere where you could get that letter at Cheyenne East saying, hey, I played Cheyenne East softball, and then move over to the Cheyenne Extreme. Just talk about that possibility and just your thoughts on that being a possibility.
I'm super excited for the possibility of high school softball. I mean, a lot of people get to see the rec games and everything like that, but we only have one tournament here a year. And so if people get a chance to come out and see that, then they can see a little bit what it's about. But if they had the chance to see like daily games, stuff like that, of what it could be, it would be awesome. And then to get to play against people that we play in the fast pitch, like out of town, like Gillette, stuff like that, that would be so cool to see them more and just get to play against them. It would definitely raise the level, I feel like.
It'd be interesting too. Hopefully this comes to play, because you would be one of the first classes to this would be historical to be a part of these softball program or fast pitch programs here in the high school. Ariana, we want to thank you so much for joining us here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. We're looking forward to catching you on the diamond this year.
Thank you for having me.
Ariana Galicia joined us here on 1480 KRAE. Thank you again to Adam Galicia joining us earlier, getting our Cheyenne Extreme update. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with more after these words there on 1480 KRAE. Right now, it's time to head over to Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service for low prices on outstanding RVs in Wyoming. Your local, exclusive Jayco dealer wants you to check out their closeout deals, as well as their 2019 inventory of trailers, fifth wheels, and toy haulers. You can save up to 30% on select models with approved credit. You can find them at 6102 East Highway 30. Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service is a proud sponsor of LCCC men's and women's basketball, also our local high school teams too. Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you.
Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast. Only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range.
Cheyenne's oldest coin dealer and supplier, the Coin Shop, is proud to serve the community since 1982. Trade or sell your gold, silver, and other precious metals. Visit with David and the knowledgeable staff for a fair and honest assessment of your valuables. Located at 510 West Lincoln Way. Call them today at 778-7196 to schedule your personal consultation.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials. Our Super Radio buys heard only right here feature Jack Daniels Old No. 7 Tennessee Whiskey, 1.75-liter bottle, $34.99. Captain Morgan Spiced Rum, 1.75-liter bottle, $19.99. And Miller High Life or High Life Light, 30-pack, 12-ounce cans, $19.99. Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low-price leader. Join in for a festive evening of fun, food, and a live auction in Cheyenne on Monday, May 6th at the historic Little Bear Inn, which is sponsoring the Love Never Forgets Gala to benefit the Wyoming chapter of the Alzheimer's Association. The event is being held to support the services provided on behalf of the nearly 30,000 Wyomingites affected by this relentless form of dementia. For more information, call the Alzheimer's chapter at 316-2892. That's 316-2892. Or visit First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue for your tickets. Remember, at First Tier Bank, you'll find the best rate on a 27-month CD with a 3.10% annual percentage yield.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Last play of the game, boys. Now they're expecting us to either run it or pass it. So instead, we're gonna do both. Like the new quesadilla taco at Taco John's. It's both a taco and a cheesy quesadilla. Taco and quesadilla. It's the perfect call.
Try Taco John's cheesy new quesadilla tacos stuffed with sirloin steak, chipotle chicken, pork carnitas, or classic beef.
Let's go quesadilla taco our way to victory.
Olay the Day at Taco John's.
For almost 60 years, 1480 KRAE has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Add to that live play-by-play sports featuring high school football and basketball, along with LCCC men's and women's basketball. Now combo that with KYOY-FM and you have Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM and FM radio stations. But we don't stop there. We also have 2 FM translators which serve the area with programming from both KRAE and KYOY. And that equals a lot of bang for your advertising dollar. Radio yesterday and now today, along with our websites, web streams, and digital ventures makes us your one-stop shop. For more information, please call Larry Proetti at 307-637-0301.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing!
And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
So we're going to try to throw a few ditties in here before we call it a Monday. First off, Nick, you went to Bare Knuckles here on
we could talk
Friday.
about that tomorrow because we'll have a guest about it, but I'm not going to dive a whole lot into it.
Okay. I was just curious. The crowd, what was the crowd like?
Crowd was decent. Definitely was not a sellout there at the Ice Event Center. Again, there were a lot of chairs, especially on the floor, that were empty, a lot of sections that were empty. So, again, a decent crowd, not a sellout, though, which was kind of sad to see. But it kind of goes into what's been happening over at the Cheyenne Ice Event Center, where we get these things to do here in the city of Cheyenne, but folks around this area, yeah, they don't support it, unfortunately. So, but at least crowd, the whole event had an interesting atmosphere. And again, we can dive into it more tomorrow when we do have our guests on to at least kind of recap of what happened this past Friday. But a lot of interesting developments. It was that first ever pay-per-view, or at least sanctioned event for BYB Extreme. You could clearly tell about it. There were some issues, some miscues, a questionable main event as well too. It showed off the flaws. Not to expect that BYB, or at least this pay-per-view, was to be perfect, but it definitely showed that needs some improvement, some vast improvement.
Some tweaking.
Absolutely. Now, the question is will this event come back to the city of Cheyenne, especially seeing that crowd there? Again, it was not bad, but it was not a sellout. So I don't know what their expectations were. We do, at least hopefully with our guests, we'll get an understanding of what pay-per-view buyouts were as well. But you wonder if what happened this past Friday, does it put a bad taste in the mouth of this organization to come back to the city of Cheyenne, or was it good enough, or at least did it do well enough to come back once again to put on another pay-per-view here, at least at the Cheyenne Ice and Event Center?
Well, you were at both events, so let me put it. I'm gonna throw it out at you real quick.
Well, one organization doesn't exist anymore.
No, I know, but and again, that guy's in the Hooskow. He owes a pile of money. He
was an idiot.
He wrote $60,000 worth of bad checks to fighters. He didn't pay the hotel, which was $3,700, and transportation costs, which ran about $2,250. That's some serious problems. But let me ask you this.
That's a different organization.
I know, but you were in the event center, and here you were at the Ice and Event Center. Crowds, same, different? What did you see?
Well,
I mean, is this going to support it? Is this state going to support bare knuckles?
It doesn't seem like it, no. In my honest opinion, with the state of Wyoming, whether it is Cass or whether it is the city of Cheyenne, maybe it's not good word of mouth out there. Maybe it's something that people do not at least understand, or maybe it's too expensive for this at least crowd out here in the state. I don't know. Again, go back to that caller that we had last week where he talked about how low-paying jobs around here do not at least help out to get folks out there to attend these events. And maybe that is the situation right now, what's going on here in the state of Wyoming, but it doesn't look like the state really, again, there's a good core of it, but we need a lot more to at least support and bring back these entities back here in town. And again, talking with a few of those, at least did run into a few at least organizers of that company, at least at Friday's event. Kind of mixed reviews of what at least what transpired this past Friday. But again, we will talk with the one entity within the organization, get the kind of final thoughts after they've had a few days to kind of think and get the at least final analytics about everything of just what their thoughts were of how well this pay-per-view did.
All right, we got to move along here, and we will get more on that tomorrow, as Nick mentioned. Giants in Major League Baseball make a trade today. They make a trade with the Minnesota Twins. Does it boost their hitting ability any? Probably not. They pick up Tyler Austin, who was acquired from the Twins, for a minor leaguer named outfielder Malik Ziegler. Austin was 1 for 4 in a couple of games with Minnesota this year before being designated for assignment on Saturday. He's a power-hitting right-handed bat, and the Giants obviously can use any bats right now. Kind of like the Rockies.
As I say, the Giants and the Rockies are the same team right now.
3-7, both teams are here.
Rockies,
the first 10
Rockies got, I think it was for the first time in 18 years, the Rockies got the showcase or headline Sunday Night Baseball. Granted, they were going head-to-head as well, too, with WrestleMania 35 last night.
What you want to talk about?
Again, we can talk about that. But Sunday Night Baseball featuring the Rockies and their home opener, at least weekend series with the LA Dodgers. Dodgers last night, just they whipped on.
The Rockies were on a milk carton throughout the entire weekend.
I mean, the Rockies right now, is it panic time? And I hate that people bring this up. No, it is so early on in the season that you should not be worrying about this Rockies team. I think this is an organization, a team that has great talent around it where they're going to right this ship. When do they do that? Only time will tell. You would assume it's got to be here within maybe a next couple of weeks. If this is a growing trend where the Rockies are still sub 500 in about 2 weeks, then it's something to take a very good look at of going, what is really going on here with the Colorado Rockies? What is the big issue right now, at least taken away from this team? But right now, here it is, 9 games under their belt, if I do remember correctly. But it's so early on that you shouldn't be worrying. It's a slump. Hey, maybe it's just early season jitters. They'll get it out of the way and then focus on good baseball. But again, they've run into, a surprising Rays team on the road. Rays, who have been fantastic out of the gates. All respect to the LA Dodgers. A team that has won back-to-back, how many years in a row NOS titles. They know what to do, and they know how to win games, clearly. They face tough opponents out of the get-go. So,
well, the Rays take 2 out of 3 in San Francisco. Again, Rockies 3-7. Surprise? Yeah, my eyebrows raised a little bit. Giants 3-7. No surprise there. Not even batting an eyelash on it, because they kind of figured they were going to be pretty crappy.
Same with the Giants, though.
They're crappy.
Well, and again, Bupkis, where it comes on stuff like, again, look at your NCAA bracket, look at your NFL picks, but either way.
Yeah, and I beat you in the NFL, so don't go there, pal.
Barely. Again, if I handicap, you were well behind, but
you are a handicap to me.
You are.
Anyway.
Either way, though, for the Giants, though, it's the same franchise in the NL West that have run into very talented teams. Question marks right now with the San Diego Padres. I don't know, but it was still on the road in San Diego to take on those Padre teams to start out. On the road against the LA Dodgers, again, another great outfit, and then at home against the Tampa Bay Rays. So you faced off 3 pretty tough opponents here to start out the gates for the San Francisco Giants. So their start, the Rocky start, hey, you wanted more out of them, but the end result, not too surprising, because you're kind of, both teams were tested out of the gates here.
Wrapping things up here. And I told Nick last night, because he turned it on for me.
You can't figure it out.
No.
About it being handicapped.
No, at 3:30 in the afternoon, we watched the pre-show for wrestling, WrestleMania 35. It is a Super Bowl of wrestling, and it is getting more and more intense every year. Now, usually a pay-per-view, correct me if I'm wrong, lasts about 3 hours, if that.
I think nowadays they're about 4.
3.5, 4 hours, okay? WrestleMania, from the
starts at 5.
pre-show. Yeah, but all right, well, we'll take it from 5 o'clock, the originating of the show, until 10:30. 5.5 hours that lasted last night. Then you had the
for
pre-show.
your Super Bowl-esque, at least style of a pay-per-view, again, your grand, spectacular showcase. 5.5 hours, maybe there were some dud matches in there that kind of grinded to a halt. But other than that, though, hey, you're getting your money's worth, especially for those fans in attendance where you're paying high dollar to attend at MetLife Stadium amongst 80,000 that were there.
Holy cow.
You're definitely getting your money's worth. And I think for 5.5 hours, maybe I'm surprised for you where it kind of goes along more of the millennial side of, hey, you can't pay attention for that long. But I have no issue with the length of it.
Right.
Again, the pre-show, hey, that's 2 hours where they're just diving into, here's the background.
And
if you miss it,
a useless match.
Somewhere at least not too useless. But other than that, though, again, if you go from the start where the pay-per-view began at 5 to, again, 10:30, not bad, though.
Yeah.
Not bad.
All right, I'm going to throw out.
I think those fans in New York City, or at least they're in New Jersey, you got your money's worth.
I'm going to say this was probably one of the, again, we say this almost every year, this was one of the best WrestleManias.
This is the WrestleMania where fans got what they wanted.
Yeah. So let me throw out some matches here for you real quick. I know there's probably some of the audience going, it's fake. Yes, it's sports entertainment. We understand that. But tell that to 80,000 plus fans. Tell that to the millions of fans around the world that viewed this.
It's still a popular, at least, sports entertainment venture where, again, it is still trending on social medias. Again, you have ESPN dedicating its own side. I got ESPN alerts last night.
Sirius
the whole thing.
XM now is involved with their own radio show.
CBS does a thing. Again, Fox Sports is going to eventually do a WWE. So, again, it is something where it is relevant.
And last night, too, with all the pyros and everything, the WWE put out at least about a couple million out of their own pocket to make this a presentation. All right, so I'm going to throw out some matches at you. Tell me if this is off the charts or not. Seth Rollins defeating Brock Lesnar.
out of the gates to start out the pay-per-view. Again, interesting how it started. Again, how it ended with Seth Rollins becoming your Universal Champion. Not a bad match. I thought it was, again, good, quick. It was basically to start out the pay-per-view, you want a match like that.
Lesnar had to go to Vegas to get ready for some MMA, probably.
Well, he's going back to the UFC. It's happening. It's not a rumor. It's going to happen that he's going to return back to the Ultimate Fighter.
All right, Shane McMahon versus The Miz. Was that off
good.
the charts?
That was good.
That was definitely off the charts. Shane McMahon won that one, and shouldn't have won that, but he did.
Again, a good old-fashioned, it wasn't even a street fight, but whatever they call it nowadays, but at least a falls count anywhere, and yeah, that lived up to the hype.
And you're talking about McMahon. He's about 50 years old right now doing stunts like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty intense last night. I'm going to go to the WWE Championship match. Kofi Kingston, the new champion, he defeated
11 years in the making. Again,
did you like that match?
Yeah, I did enjoy it. Again, pulling for Kofi Kingston. Hey, again, something new, something different. A guy who has been through the ranks and finally pays off here.
Roman Reigns came back after suffering through the lymphoma.
Yeah.
His match with Drew McIntyre was okay.
No, leukemia. It wasn't lymphoma.
Excuse me, leukemia. How about the no-holds-barred match between Triple H and Batista?
That one lived up to the hype, and that was pretty good. Again, that was a showcase, or at least that was a send-off match for both. Again, where at least the stipulation was Triple H is to retire from in-ring competition. We knew that was eventually happening. It was announced after at least the contest late last night that Dave Batista, or at least Batista, did retire as well too. So both entities, that was their final kind of farewell match, and it was not a bad way to send both of their careers off into the sunset.
Back in the day, that would have been a bloodbath. Back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day.
And finally, the winner-take-all triple threat match for the Raw SmackDown Women's Championship.
Ended in a bit of a controversy. Again, you look at the replay, shoulders were up for at least Ronda Rousey. At least some insiders were saying that was how it was supposed to go, but at least she just couldn't alter her shoulder, where it had some marred controversy, but we won't know much about what happened. It did come out as well, too. At least actuality for Ronda Rousey is that she did have a broken hand from that, so she will be actually out of in-ring competition, even though she was rumored to have been retired last night, or at least her career was going to retire from the WWE, but it looks like from that at least contest, she did have a broken hand.
All right, so there's a quick capsulized version of some of the matches last night.
And we could go on. I'd love to go on again, break down everything, but some dud matches, but at least most of the card were pretty good.
Yeah, it was off the charts. I really enjoyed it.